friends, this is Scheer, and today I'm going to do a little guitar tutorial on my song May the Mind of Christ My Savior. Let me just play a tiny bit of that. May the mind of Christ my Savior live in me from day to day, by His love and power controlling all I do and say. May I run the race before me, leave the sin that waits my soul, looking only unto Jesus as my source and goal. So that's just one verse of it. So we're going to unpack that a little bit. If you're a guitarist, I'm going to hopefully teach you how to do this. So we start off with this opening riff, which I think kind of sets the song up beautifully. Oh, even I can't play it. Let me give that another try. Alright, so let's unpack that. The first thing that you need to know, it's going from kind of a D2 to a B minor. But I play it a little bit differently. So the first thing you need to know is you've got your normal D chord right here, right? Easy peasy. Take off your middle finger. I mean, don't actually take it off. Just lift it from the string. Okay, that's going to be a lot easier. You'll need that middle finger for other things later on. So now you've got a D2. That's a basic form. Now, normally, you would play a B minor or something like this. Okay, but we're going to play it a little bit fancier. We're playing it this time with our index finger on the B, and then we're putting these two notes. Actually, it's kind of like a D, like your normal D chord, but now you just bring that down here. See? That's our D. And that's kind of our amended B minor. And I say amended B minor because it's got a G in there. And I love that sound of the G ringing against the G sharp above it. It's really nice. Okay? So it's really kind of, all right, if you want to get really technical, it would be a G major 7 over B. All right, now, so let's just practice that. We've got a D2, and then the G minor 7 over B. Okay, let's just do that a couple times. And one of the things that gives it its particular sound is that it's got all of those seconds ringing in it, like all of those kind of extra notes just kind of make the chords a little bit less ambiguous than a straight. Okay, now you're probably saying, well, how did he do all the other stuff? All right, so let me see if I can unpack that. The first thing is that's my picking. Can you see that right here? Let me see if I can get this. So just simple finger picking. And then I do a hammer on. The second was boom. So that one is thumb. Alright, so you put it together. Oh! Alright, that makes a little bit of sense, right? So you can work on that, see if you can get it. Now, there is no shame at all in going. It still has a really nice sound, doesn't it? Now, when you get into the song itself, so that intro can keep going. Now, if you're the only guitar player, then I would say just keep doing it. then the words come in. May the mind of Christ my Savior live in me. Right? So it can keep going on in the background, and that's great. But if you are singing it and playing it like I often do, what I do is I do the fancy intro, and then I go to a more simplified version when I start singing, because it's very hard to sing. I mean, I can probably do it if I work on it a long time, but it just feels like I want my voice to be real secure in that section. So I want to kind of concentrate on my voice and not have to worry about my fingers. So here we go. So this would be, I'm going to do the first part, and so you can hear how it goes from the intro into the first verse. May the mind of Christ my Savior, Savior, sorry about that, me from day to day, by His love and power controlling all I do and say. So the only thing that's different in this verse are those last two chords. We've got love and power controlling, then we've got an A over C sharp. Now, so you remember that an A is just these three. Okay? You see that? You remember how an A looks, right? Now, if you want to get fancy, you keep that A down and you put a C sharp under it, okay? So that's an A over C sharp. But I do something a little bit different because I want to keep this, I want to keep that kind of sound going, so I go like this. So I just go with my ring finger, I do the C sharp on the A. With my index finger, I do the A on the G, and then I let the B and the E ring out. And so what that makes it is a A2 over C sharp, for those of you who care about such things. And you hear how it's got a nice, like the beginning chords, it's got a little bit of an ambiguous tone. And then I go to the G. Now, a couple things. I really like, a lot of people play a G like this, okay? But I don't like the sound of that very much, okay? And I think it's because it's got two B's ringing in it, and I don't know, just don't like it. So I usually play a G chord like this. I put my ring finger on the D on the B string. All right? And that makes a nice sound. The other advantage of this, well, there are a couple advantages. One, if you're in the key of C, then you can do that G to C2 type of sound, but we're not there. But what you can also do is this. Lift up your index finger from here on the B and go to the A on the G string. And that gives you a G2. So what I often do is, let's see if I can find my, all I do was sing. Okay? And it's a nice ring. So let's put that all together. And then I'll go right into the chorus. May the mind of Christ, my Savior, live in me from day to day, by His love and power controlling all I do or say. May I run the race before me, leave the sin that waits my soul, looking unto Jesus as my source and goal. May the word of God dwell richly. Okay, so we won't go into that, but let me show you what I do on the chorus. I go straight into a B, minor chord here. I want something really strong. When I do this with the praise band, the drums really kick in. So I want a really full sound. So if I'm on, whereas we did this before, which is kind of a ethereal sound, I want to just, I mean, I might also want to go. That would work too, but I usually grab it here, just my normal B minor bar chord, and then I go to that G that I was telling you about, right? Not the G2, but the G. All right. If you want to get fancy, you can go put that A. Now, what do we do here? We have a E sus E. A sus A, back to the B. Okay, now that's a lot of chords. Leave the sin that waits my soul. Oh, sorry, waits my soul. Perfectly fine if you want to go. Leave the sin that waits my soul. Just an E to an A. That's totally fine. But if you want to catch it, you just. That's an E sus, right? So your E is here, and then just put your pinky up, and it's an E sus. And then A, same thing. I do it like a bar, like this, A, and then you just go, put the D, all right? So, leave the sin that waits my soul. Now, if you have a bass player, this is really cool. Leave the sin that waits my soul. All right, so I just go basically up an E scale. That's what we call that thing in the business. That waits my soul. And you can actually catch that on the guitar too if you want to be fancy. Leave the sin that waits my soul. Alright, and probably a better guitarist than me could actually catch all of those things without messing up the chords. But anyways, that's gets us most of the way there. And then the same thing. Looking only unto Jesus. Now, I know guitarists who would take me to task for doing a D with an F sharp in my thumb, but you know what? They are better guitarists than me, and you should listen to them, and I don't even know what they do when they do this. But go from the G, and then you play your D, but you wrap your thumb around on the F sharp, and that gives you a nice... Okay? Now, your E minor is like this, right? But I like to do it like this sometimes. Put the G up in the top, okay? And then what that does is I like... something like that. So, as my source and goal. Maybe I wouldn't do that. I'm not sure. Looking only unto Jesus as my source. That's what I would do. Do the E minor without the G. I changed my mind. Just do the E minor, then do a D2. As my source and goal. Hear how on that goal I did a G and then put that A up there, and that's a nice way to fill in that gap. So let's look at the whole chorus. May I run the race before me, leave the sin that awaits my soul, looking only unto Jesus as my source and goal. May the word of God be richly. And you can see from the things that I'm messing up that even a person that is doing a YouTube guitar tutorial on his own song can mess things up. I don't catch all of this. I would also point out that if you are doing this in the service, I've got a piano part written out. I've got a string quartet or a string orchestra part So there are a lot of options, and so often when I do this, I've got a bass player covering some of the low end, I've got a pianist who's filling in as well, and so there's lots of options. So let's go through the whole thing. I'll just do it from the end, and or from the first verse to the end, and you can see the whole thing in action, and hopefully we can put it all together. Intro. May the mind of Christ, my Savior, live in me from day to day. By His love and power control me, all I do and say. May I run the race before me, leave the sin that awaits my soul, looking only unto Jesus as my source and goal. May the word of God dwell richly in my heart from hour to hour, so that all may see I triumph only through His power. May I run the race before me, leave the sin that waits my soul, looking only unto Jesus as my source and goal. And you don't have to end it on the G2, but you can. That's one way that I do it. I guess you could also, as my source and goal. Something like that could work as an ending as well. That, you can be the judge on that. So anyways, once again, this is my remake of the song, or my retuning of the song, May the Mind of Christ My Savior. Hopefully this guitar tutorial helped you kind of find your way in how to play this. You can find all the music for this at my website, gregscheer.com. Just search under May the Mind of Christ and you will find it. Hope this was helpful, and I look forward to seeing you again sometime soon. Bye.